world of sports has been responsible for a number of superstars, but it's also seen its fair share of failures. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sports busts.
He didn't go to another team and redeem himself, so you have to say it was a bust.
For this list, we're looking at those players that were considered to be the next great thing, but for one reason or another, failed to live up to expectations.
I had an attitude of, the Packers screwed me over, the fans screwed me over, the media was unfair.
We're not including those players who had their careers tragically cut short, nor are we including players who had successful careers, but were drafted ahead of an all-time great player.
Every time we play the Chicago Bulls, I kind of run up to Michael and grab him by the shirt collar and say, look, if you wouldn't have become the player that you are, I wouldn't be going through all these controversies that I've been going through.
Number 10, Freddy Adu. Considered the next Pele, Freddy Adu was supposed to be the guy to finally lead the United States to a World Cup trophy. He signed a professional contract at just 14 years old and captained the United States team that beat Brazil and Uruguay at the 2007 FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
Hey, good one, Mikey. Real good one, man.
Due to his age and inexperience, however, Adu found it difficult to find playing time on international clubs, and his play began to waver.
And he's sent off. Adu was already in the book. And Freddy Adu, having had the best 45 minutes he's had of the season.
His lack of mental toughness was blamed for his failure, but it likely was really a case of a young man with too much pressure on his shoulders.
I haven't always made the right decisions as far as, choices of teams that I've gone to in the past.
Number 9, Alexandre Daigle.
Brendamore with a pass for Daigle, splitting the defenseman. Daigle, he scored!
The NHL has had its fair share of busts over the years, including Patrick Steffen, the former number 1 draft pick by the Atlanta Thrashers.
From the International Hockey League, Long Beach Ice Dogs, Patrick Steffen.
We're going with Alexandre Daigle, however, who was also drafted first overall. Ottawa was accused of tanking during the 1992-93 season, so they'd be able to draft this can't-miss prospect.
The first pick in the 1993 entry draft, the Ottawa Senators welcome Alexandre Daigle.
He rewarded them with 20 goals in his rookie season, but was criticized in the following years for his lack of effort. Reports of drug use didn't help, nor did making a bomb joke on an airplane. He was out of hockey by the age of 25. Number 8, TONY MANDARICH.
Or is this the result of taking steroids, or do you take those, or you don't take them?
No, I don't.
Drafted by Green Bay in the first round after Troy Aikman and before Barry Sanders, TONY MANDARICH was called the best offensive line prospect ever by Sports Illustrated in 1989. Just 3 years later, the incredible bulk became the NFL's incredible bust.
I saw him on film, and I watched him. I said, this guy's got no feet.
The Canadian lineman was an absolute beast at the NFL Combine, bench pressing 225 pounds an unbelievable 39 times. He missed training camp due to a holdout, however, and reports began to surface that he had attitude problems.
In all the hype and all the euphoria, forgot to check whether he could play football.
On top of that, many believed that Mandarich was on steroids, something he admitted to in an interview in 2008.
Listen, steroids work. If they didn't work, I wouldn't have took them.
Number 7, Charles Rogers.
How much pressure did you feel?
Pressure gonna be there. Either you can live up to it, or you can't,
During his junior year at Michigan State, Charles Rogers put up over 1,300 receiving yards and scored 13 touchdowns, with analysts comparing him to Randy Moss. The Detroit Lions drafted him with the 2nd overall pick in the 2003 NFL Draft and handed him a huge contract.
Charles Rogers. I had 68 catches and 13 touchdowns. Charles Rogers. I had 68 catches.
His rookie year started off okay, but a broken clavicle in practice ended his season. Things quickly snowballed from there, as Rogers struggled with substance abuse and broke his clavicle a 2nd time the following year.
People like you end up in my courtroom because you're addicts. Not because you're bad people. You have a serious addiction problem.
He was out of football in 2006, finishing his career with just 36 catches in 15 career games. Number 6, JaMarcus Russell. As a 3-year starter at Louisiana State University, JaMarcus Russell won 21 games and finished his college career with an impressive victory over Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, where he took home the MVP award.
It's a pleasure to present the most valuable player for the All-State Sugar Bowl to JaMarcus Russell.
With his size and arm strength, he was selected by Oakland as the first overall pick in the 2007 NFL Draft.
With the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select quarterback JaMarcus Russell.
That would be the peak of his career, however. Russell failed to show the dedication it takes to play quarterback, gaining a significant amount of weight and getting in trouble off the field.
He must have just sat around, shoveled food in his mouth, and didn't do a damn thing.
He finished his career with just 7 wins and a terrible 65.2 quarterback rating.
I didn't see it coming, as far as getting released, but I didn't think it was going to come that soon.
Number 5, Nii Lamptey.
For somebody like this to say you are going to step in the shoe, it was something like a load that you can carry for the rest of your life.
Another failed wunderkind to make our list, Nii Lamptey became a superstar in Ghana and was labeled the Ghanaian Pele by Pele himself. He put on a show at the 1991 FIFA Under-17 World Championship, winning Best Player of the tournament after scoring 4 goals.
Eventually, one had to go in. The Ghanaians took the trophy to Africa with the only goal.
Lamptey struggled to find consistent playing time at the club level, however, and bounced around from club to club. In the 1996 African Cup of Nations semi-final game against South Africa, Lamptey was sent off in a 3-0 loss. He wouldn't play another game for Ghana after 1996. Number 4, Darko Miličic.
A lot of the beat writers are going to write he made his first basket. Big things to be expected from him in the future.
The 7-foot-tall Serbian's career got off to a great start. In 2003, he was drafted 1 spot behind LeBron James by the Detroit Pistons, who would win the NBA championship the following year.
With the second pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Darko Miličic.
Miličic failed to improve his game, however, and his playing time dwindled. Of course, his lack of playing time could be the reason why his skills failed to develop. The Pistons ultimately traded him during the 2006 season.
Well, what's the point? Darko announced today that he's retiring from professional basketball.
What makes this bust sting even more is that the 3 players drafted after Miličic were Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade.
I don't know. I think he went back overseas.
Yes, with his tail between his legs and over $40 million in career earnings.
Number 3, Lawrence Phillips.
He's bouncing in and out of foster homes. His mom basically abandoned him as a kid, so it's kind of like he had a lot of anger, inside of him.
From a first-round pick to prison, Lawrence Phillips was quite the sight on the football field in college, leading Nebraska to back-to-back national championships in the early 90s.
Lawrence Phillips breaking one inside the 10, a touchdown, Nebraska.
Phillips was constantly in trouble off the field, however, including being suspended for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. Several NFL teams passed on him in the draft due to his character issues, but the Rams selected him 6th overall. Despite this, Phillips continued to get in trouble, and his on-field play deteriorated. After finishing his career in the Canadian Football League, Phillips died in 2016 while serving a 32-year prison sentence and awaiting trial on first-degree murder charges.
This is someone who found great success in college and was even drafted high in the NFL, but he was just unable to stay out of his own way.
Number 2, Rick DiPietro.
Penalty shot, Gabrick is in, saves DiPietro.
Be careful who you give 15-year contracts to, especially in hockey. DiPietro was drafted 1st overall in 2000 by the New York Islanders, who traded Roberto Luongo to open up a spot.
The New York Islanders are picking Rick DiPietro, a goaltender from Boston University, as the #1 pick.
Big mistake. DiPietro's early career was plagued with inconsistency, but for some bizarre reason, the Islanders gave him a 15-year, $67.5 million contract in 2006. Then came the injury bug. Concussions ended his year in 2007, while multiple knee surgeries caused him to miss almost the entire 2008-2009 season. After signing his contract, DiPietro played just 175 games in 7 years, meaning he made a little over $385,000 per game.
Well, no, you have to put yourself in Rick DiPietro's shoes. No one wants to be labeled a bust. Big expectations, big money, as you mentioned, and all of that made this a bigger fall for him.
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Maurice the Beast, not a bad nickname. He was a beast on a football field.
I did everything I was told to do. I thought I was on the scout team. There's nothing I could do. The roster was full already.
33 points so far in the first half with only a minute and a half to play.
Kwame Brown not close.
This is the first time we beat Peyton, and that was actually the year they won the Super Bowl. At the end of the game, I walked up, shook his hand, and he was like, just kind of rooting for you there at the end.
#1, Ryan Leaf.
That's why this is the only mop endorsed by me, former NFL draft pick, Ryan Leaf.
It's hard to believe that before the 1998 NFL Draft, there was a serious debate about whether Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf should be selected first overall.
With Peyton, you knew what you had. He was very forthright, and he had convictions, where Ryan was a little more of an enigma.
The Colts ended up choosing Manning, leaving the Chargers with Leaf. He struggled mightily in his rookie season, and in the media blamed his teammates for his poor play. As you can imagine, he quickly developed a reputation for a bad work ethic.
There isn't any pictures up of Ryan's. Definitely some things missing on the wall here without him up there, but when he went to prison, we decided just to take everything down.
He even had to be restrained when a fan heckled him during training camp. The Chargers released Leaf in 2001 after finishing 1-15. He retired in 2002, finishing his career with 36 interceptions in just 25 games, having squandered what talent he did once have.
Lee steps up, got it away, and it's picked off.
Do you agree with our list? Who do you think is the biggest sports bust?
Oh, hit him with a left. He caught. Oh, you hit him. He's not going to hit him again. It only took one left, and DiPietro was down.
For more great top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I love the game. I miss it. The worst part about it, that I shouldn't be in this situation.